Hello everyone. Today I'm excited to share my solo trip to Savannah, Georgia, a city full of charm, history, and a touch of supernatural. Savannah is a 2 hour flight ride from New York City and will truly capture your heart with its rich history, beautiful architecture, and intriguing stories. Okay, first things first, let's grab a map to see how the city is laid out and thereby we can maximize the places of visit. Try living in one of the areas which is overlooking the river because they offer the best views and have great connectivity. Overall, the city has very good connectivity, I would say, and those areas have the liveliest atmosphere. I usually take hop on hop off bus tours with number of stops, which gives me the freedom to choose where I want to get down, and it also you can plan your trip in your own way. At the same time, you always have a public transport kind of a bus ride back to the next stop. Do the river cruise as well because that's definitely one of the best things to do in Savannah. I booked myself a room in the Hyatt Regency, which is on the River Street. It directly connects to the cobblestone road of River Street, where from you can take any number of rides. This is the room interiors. The interiors are pretty simple with clean and sharp designs, be it the wooden headboard or the oak wood furniture complementing the yellow tone walls. The room has ample amount of light coming in, courtesy to the large wall windows that you saw. This is the view from my room. It has the town view. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the river view, but this also doesn't disappoint. It's beautiful. The hotel too, while having a simple exterior, has dramatic full-height lobby atrium with prominent glass-fronted elevators that connect the building vertically. The contemporary design is inward-looking with all the corridors on the inner side overlooking the central focus, which is the lobby. And this is how the view looks like while coming in an elevator. Next up on my agenda was the bus tour around the city. You can hop on the Old Town Trolley Tour at any convenient stop and continue your journey from there. The tour covers key landmarks and includes engaging narrations of the city's history. If you are a history enthusiast like me, you'll love the stories shared along the way. It covers many landmark areas and mostly in the historic district, featuring cobblestone streets, homes, busy market streets, and beautiful squares. The houses are mostly federal style, which are characterized by symmetrical design, brick construction, and decorative ironwork, and also Georgian style, known for the formal and balanced design and brick exteriors. There's a stunning Catholic cathedral, which is best known for its Gothic architecture and the beautiful stained glass, as you would be able to see in this small video that I took. After the 2 hours bus tour, it was time for lunch, and I went to Pirate's House restaurant, famous for their southern dishes and their ambience. You need to do a prior reservation. That's me grabbing a lollipop while waiting to be seated. While I should have tried out for the southern dishes, I tilted towards my favorite cuisine, Italian, and ordered myself a shrimp pasta. After having that delicious lunch, I checked out their merchandise, which is in the floor above, and bought myself little souvenirs. The restaurant has an overall pirates theme, like I said earlier, and it talks about the stories of pirates during the Civil War time. The next item on my agenda was to take the Georgia Queen River Cruise Tour, which is a 1.5 tour of the Savannah River. The Georgia Queen is a 1,000 passenger river boat that once traveled 3,000 kilometers from Mississippi River to Savannah and has been here ever since. There are full ballrooms inside and an open air deck. I chose to sit in the open air deck and enjoy the views. There's a narration throughout the trip on the history of Savannah, how it was Georgia's first city, and interestingly, it is America's first planned city as well. The layout of the city is in gridiron pattern, and there are public squares which act as parks at all these intersections. So there are around 22 squares now. The last tour of the day was the Ghost and the Gravestones tour by the Old Town Trolley Tours again. As dusk falls, the tour takes you to the historic Colonial Cemetery, a site with graves dating back to the 18th century. As you walk among the ancient tombstones, the guide shares chilling horror stories of the haunted Savannah, recounting the tales of restless spirits and mysterious apparitions that happen even today. The eerie happenings have been reported over the centuries, is what she says. It does leave you a bit scared, I would say, if especially you're traveling alone. I ended the day with oysters for dinner. I was recommended to try it while in the south. I must say it's an acquired taste and I definitely didn't enjoy it. Next morning, I decided to go to the oldest cemeteries of Savannah and famous for its picturesque oaks draped with Spanish moss and the rumored hauntings. It's a beautiful southern Gothic cemetery that has inspired a lot of poets and writers. You must have heard about it in John Muir's book, A Thousand Mile Walk to the Gulf. Yes, it's the Bonaventure Cemetery. I took a golf cart guided tour, and the guide shared stories associated with the graves and the significance of major crypts. One such story was that during the time of yellow fever epidemic, people were mistakenly buried alive, and to prevent that, a string would be attached to the finger of the deceased and attached to the bell next to the grave. This is where the phrase saved by the bell comes from. The family would then pay someone to wash the grave at night, which is where the term graveyard shift also originates from. Then there are graves of those who died during the Civil War as well as those killed during the Spanish American War. You'll see symbolism in majority of these graves. And during 1800s, child mortality rate was also high. So there are graves as small as 1.5 feet representing infants. And then there's the grave of Gracie Watson, a 6-year-old who died of pneumonia, and her gravesite became so popular that parents would leave presents for her, especially during Christmas. The trip was enlightening, and these places hold a deep, evocative charm and an air of mystery. Bonaventure Cemetery is a little distantly located as compared to the town squares, so you might need to take an Uber, like I did. And these are some of the town houses that they have, like individual houses in the outskirts of the city. My next stop was the Forsyth Park, again back in the town. The beauty of this park is captivating and timeless. The sprawling green lawns, majestic oak trees draped with Spanish moss. It also has an iconic fountain which enchants every visitor. One last thing that I was recommended to do before returning to New York City was to try Leopold's ice cream by my Uber ride, and thanks to him, I did enjoy it. With that, we come to the end of our trip. Feel free to use my itinerary if you're visiting Savannah anytime soon. Thank you for watching.